Hello everyone, it's Irina K and welcome back to my channel AstroBabushka. I'm a Vedic astrologer and I apply ancient 3000 years old knowledge to modern times. Today's talk is heavier than usual. It blends astrology, current events and deep symbolism. I want to take my time so you can follow each part and see why I read the sky this way. When I prepared my prognosis for the recent lunar eclipse, I foresaw that assassinations were highly likely. You can go back and see this prediction in my YouTube video. It wasn't guesswork. I came from a careful analysis of the eclipse chart, its fixed star overlays, and its echoes in world's history. But since the path of the eclipse did not pass over the United States, I did not expect such an event to unfold here in America. In traditional mundane astrology, the path of visibility often shows where effects will manifest most strongly. I thought the tension might release elsewhere, perhaps in Europe or the Middle East. And yet, only days later, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. I was shocked. I was scared. I felt even numb. Videos of the scene were everywhere, raw and unfiltered. Within 1 month, first Irina Zarutska, then Charlie Kirk, it shook me to the core. What hurt most was seeing how many cruel people were celebrating online, rejoicing in death. This is inhumane. Even when we disagree with someone's politics, delighting in violence corrodes the soul. So for several days I felt numb, but eventually I reminded myself, as an astrologer, my duty is to make the picture clear, at least for myself. Emotion is human, analysis is discipline. At first, I couldn't understand how a lunar eclipse, not even visible in the United States, could relate to an assassination here. Then, while preparing my US prognosis video and Uranus return video, I turned again to Donald Trump's inauguration chart back in January 2025, and the missing piece appeared. In that chart, Venus, ruler of the Lagnas nakshatra, and basically the whole chart ruler, is afflicted in the 11th house, together standing there with Saturn, exactly on the fixed star Achernar, the same star, attention, where the lunar eclipse fell. The 11th house is not trivial. It governs networks, allies, and supporters, the social web around the power. When Venus and Saturn sit afflicted there on Achernar, the karmic blade hangs over those within the circle. Under the eclipse, this alignment was activated and it struck. Not randomly, but precisely in the realm of allies and public supporters, the 11th house. Achernar is no gentle star. It lies at the mouth of the celestial river Eridanus, a place of endings and transitions. It is known for crisis, karmic reckoning, and sudden turns of fate. In esoteric tradition, it is called the sword of Archangel Michael. Interesting. Let's pause in a Christian frame here. Archangel Michael is one of the chief angels of the Bible. He appears in the book of Daniel as a protector of God's people. in the letter of Jude contending with the devil, and in Revelation as the leader of heaven's armies who defeats Satan and the fallen angels. His sword represents divine justice, the power that cuts through evil. It is not for ordinary punishment, but for protection of the faithful and the restoration of divine order. This is why Michael is often shown with a flaming sword or spear, standing over a defeated dragon. And still, the question rose in me. Why him? Why Charlie Kirk? Where is the connection? I could not believe that the archetype of Archangel Michael would strike one of his own followers. That's just counterintuitive. I even made a short video about it, but I sounded probably too harsh and too shocked, and I was numb at that moment, and I was not balanced at all. And so I deleted that video. I kept searching for an answer. Then I watched Gigi's Jiang video on the assassination topic yesterday, actually. I followed her work for many years now, and her perspective always resonating with me. So she said that church, like politics, media, or any other human system, can be infiltrated. None of us are perfect. We're human. That changed how I saw it. It isn't that Michael turned on his own. It's that forces opposed to his light have entered both sacred and political spaces, twisting symbols and striking at the heart of communities from within the familiar. Could the very sword of Archangel Michael be even symbolically or literally stolen by evil forces? Charlie Kirk's role as a public Christian made his death echo even louder, as if the sword caught inside the very community that calls upon Michael's protection. Then I remembered Megyn Kelly's report about Jezebel article that bragged about putting a curse on Charlie Kirk. 2 weeks before the assassination, Jezebel published a piece describing how one of their writers went on Etsy, paid for a hex time to August 23rd, new moon, and even provided Kirk's birth date to make it more accurate. Then, the writer fantasized about ruining his voice, his clothes, his ability to speak or tweet, anything to silence him. She posted proof from the witch, a photo of Kirk's face burning in ritual flames. The piece ran September 8. The hexes were ordered on the late August, and Charlie Kirk was killed about 2.5 weeks later. Megyn Kelly exposed that timeline, and it raises difficult questions about what kind of energy was being invoked and how fast it seemed to manifest. Is this mere coincidence or a glimpse of how dark intentions and symbolic actions can ripple into the collective when the timing is right? Eclipses, in ancient understanding, are windows for such forces to surface. Some months, mathematically thin places in the calendar, also act like portals, where myths say beings from the underworld can cross under the right conditions into our plane. I speak more about that in another video about dangerous dates. Another layer comes from Professor Jiang, a Yale scholar who studies symbolism and numerology. He said 3 white hats were on the table by Charlie Kirk on that day, each marked 47. Do the math. 4 plus 7 equals 11. 11 times 3 will be 33. He called it a sign of religious sacrifice. Whether we take it literally or not, it mirrors the 11th house in astrology that has been activated in inauguration chart during lunar eclipse just 3 days, again number 3, before Charlie Kirk was murdered. The house of allies and networks. There, in the 11th house, in the chart, inauguration chart, 2 planets already. It's Venus and Saturn. And during the eclipse, the moon joined them. And it became 3 planets in 11th house. Again, number 3. The symbolism becomes literal, numerological. Take it or leave it, but the pattern stands. After tracing all these threads, I'm left with more questions than when I began. But that's what honest astrology looks like. The sky doesn't hand us slogans. It hands us patterns to interpret. Right now, I'm inclined toward Jiang view that we witnessed a staged ritual, a distortion of sacred imagery played out before our eyes and within our hearts, a show to the world that evil forces for now are taking over. And it could not even be true, but the show is there to demonstrate that the sword has been stolen and system got corrupted from very within. Their realization can feel heavy, so we must resist being pulled into darkness. Return to your spiritual practice, whatever form it takes. Is it prayer? Pray. Is it a meditation? Meditate. Is it a service? So go and serve. Bring the light where you can. Because eclipses and dark events don't only reveal corruption, they reveal our own fears. If we don't stay centered, we become part of the very chaos we're trying to understand. So this is my reading of the recent events. It isn't final, it's still unfolding. But by showing you the chart of inauguration, the star Achernar, the archetype of Michael, Archangel Michael, the infiltration, the curses, the numerology, and the timing, I hope I offered a clearer sense of the forces moving through this moment. I put the link down in the description about like all the videos that I mentioned here. And my message is that we cannot control everything that happens in the world, but we can stay conscious, stay discerning, and keep faith alive. That's how we resist infiltration at the deepest level, inside ourselves, inside our heart. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you in the next videos.